Hello, and welcome to the Daily Try, daily podcast that supports you on your fertility journey. My name's Lara, and this is episode 6. If you haven't already found us, this is the first time you found us, please hit follow or like or whatever it is you do on the podcast service that you're listening through, because it helps other people find us. And if you do enjoy this episode, please leave a comment or a review or just get in touch, because I'd love to hear your thoughts. This is something new, this podcast series, because I feel like going through fertility journey, trying to get pregnant, is really difficult. So I decided that I was going to do a daily 10-minute podcast to support women on this journey. And in particular, and this is what today's topic is about, support that doesn't feel clinical. I feel that often when you're going through trying to get pregnant, whether it's naturally or whether it's through IVF, you're having to measure stuff, you're having to take your temperature, you're having to track things, you're having to take pills, you're having to make appointments. There's so much that goes into it. It's kind of like a second job. You've got all this stuff you need to manage to work out if you can get the result you want. You've got to time your sex, you've got to go to appointments, and obviously you need that medical stuff, and you're getting support around that, but you don't get support on the emotional stuff, on the things that the 3 o'clock in the morning stuff, on the, well, you're having to advocate for yourself as a patient, as well as support yourself. And doing that and keeping track of all that is so challenging. And especially if you're going through IVF, because you don't know, often the clinics you're dealing with are not, you don't know if they've got your best interests at heart, is what I'm trying to say. Some of the clinics I've spoken to, they are really just about money making, and they're not about you as a patient. And I think that it becomes emotionally draining as well as physically, to actually have to advocate as well as keep on top of everything you're supposed to be doing to make sure this happens. And what should be, I feel like, a really exciting, hopeful time often becomes this kind of chore about what you've got to do to actually get pregnant. And everyone around you, like medical people, are discussing, what they need to do and when they need to do it. And I feel like sometimes you as a person gets forgotten, because you still have hopes and dreams. You'll still want to have this baby, this thing you really want more than anything, which is why you're going through all this. And sometimes that kind of gets brushed to one side, and you get this kind of clinical thing, practical stuff happening, but not the emotional side. So I really hope, part of the reason I started this podcast was to support women every day for 10 minutes, no more than 10 minutes, and talk to you, just be that person there that gets you and wants to help you on this journey. And if you have any questions, by the way, or comments, do let me know, because I want to be able to answer any questions or thoughts or feedback. So for me, I did IVF as a single woman, and I found that it was very, very clinical. I remember at one point, before I went for my second transfer, they'd found an infection in my uterus, so I was taking a lot of pills. I think I was on something crazy like 22 tablets a day. It was mental. I had alarms going off every hour to remember to take things. And it becomes what should be something really exciting and hopeful and just something lovely, becomes something like I said earlier, like a second job. And you feel like you're managing it. And really what you want is to try and bring back a bit of humanity and a bit of emotion into it, and actually kind of feel supported in what you're doing. So I think today I want to say that it's really important to find times to do that. And I think that one thing you can do that's free is obviously listen to this podcast, but we also have a monthly fertility letter which I write and send out to people, along with a gift and a positive affirmation and a mindful moment card, which can be really lovely in terms of just making you feel seen and feel supported. But it is only once a month, which is why I decided that this podcast could complement it, because it means that I get to reach you on a daily basis. But I think there's other ways you can do it, apart from is finding other people that are going through the same situation as you. Often you'll find transfer buddies online through groups. The problem is that they're not always necessarily your cup of tea. They're not necessarily your people that you want to hang out with. And they might have thoughts or opinions that might not agree with what you think. But I think finding that emotional support is so important. You've got the medical stuff covered, but the emotional stuff is really difficult. And you need people that get it. The people that have been there. When I was going through my IVF, I had friends that had also been through IVF. A couple of friends were either going through or had been. And so I used to regularly call them and chat to them if I was having challenges, if I was feeling low, if I was like, meh, or if I wanted to make a decision about something, because most times, one of my friends went through 14 rounds, so she'd pretty much seen it all. So being able to have those people to talk to is so important. And whether it's trying naturally or whether it's doing IVF or IUI or whatever it is, however you're trying to find people that can help you and be there for you, that get it, I think is so important, and can make it easier to get through those days where you do feel like you are managing your diary to make sure everything gets taken and measured and tracked. Everything is what you want it to be, because you need to have something that helps you emotionally and is heartfelt. And because you're still a person, you're still someone that needs love, needs affection, needs support, even when you're trying to get pregnant. You don't suddenly turn into a robot that just has one goal in life, to have a baby. It does feel like that, but that's not who you are. That's not everything who you are. You are other things. And I think it's really important to try and remember that, and try and find ways that you can actually get that emotional support, apart from through listening to this podcast. Maybe it is friends, or maybe it's family members, or maybe it's online, but there's lots of ways that you can do it. If you are interested in our fertility snail mail letters, I'll put the link in the show notes. And I hope that today you have a really wonderful day, and please know that I'm here. Do reach out, and here is a massive hug to get your day off to a good start. I'll see you tomorrow.